Former President Rodrigo Duterte is scheduled to make his initial appearance before the International Criminal Court today, Friday, March 14. Let's get more details from Gretchen Ho, who joins us live from the Netherlands. Gretchen.
Good morning and a good Friday to you, Ed, from The Hague in Netherlands. No sight of him yet, but former President Rodrigo Duterte gave signs of life through the Philippine Embassy in The Hague, and here is the latest. He's fine and just went through medical care and a checkup. That's what former President Rodrigo Duterte and now ICC suspect told the Philippine Embassy to the Netherlands. In a social media post, the embassy said that Duterte, through a call with a consular officer, requested for assistance from the embassy for a visit by his legal counsel and family member. Duterte was finally able to get on the phone with Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, who serves as his legal counsel. Earlier in the day, Medialdea tried to get inside the Shaviningan prison, but came out saying there was no Rodrigo Duterte to be found.
And we are told that there is no President Duterte inside the facility. We are at a loss of this time, and lokohan na to. I think this is part of their grand plan, no? To kidnap the president, to extract the president from the Philippines and brought to a jet without known destination.
This was a claim that the International Criminal Court immediately refuted, saying that the president had gone through a medical checkup, which was standard procedure for all suspects under custody.
We don't have any opportunity. We don't know where he is right now. He doesn't have any. He doesn't even have his medicines with him. Sinakay siya sa ambulance, binigay lang namin yung mga records sa kanya, and sabi he will be well taken care of.
The ICC also confirmed that the former president is now inside the United Nations Detention Unit, where suspects on pre-trial and trial stay.
Itong nilalakad ko ngayon, ito yung pagitan ng ICC office na nandoon at yung detention center na nandito. It's about a kilometer-long walk.
Supporters of Rodrigo Duterte from different parts of Europe braved the cold and rain outside the penitentiary.
Rely lang ako sa Google Map ko para hanapin ang ICC. Nakakalungkot lang kasi sana mayroon tayong kahit pa paano transparency sa nangyayari.
Saan po kayo galing?
Belgium po.
Ilang hours kayo?
From coming here 2 hours.
Grabe yung drug addict dun sa amin eh.
Saan po kayo taga-saan kayo?
Cebu. Cebu.
Oo.
Tapos, nung si Duterte na, parang like, we can walk very safely.
I'm supporting my friend. We're friends. Anti-Duterte. I'm pro-human rights and pro-Duterte, but we're still friends. We're not fighting. We respect each other.
Although still quite far off, attorney Gilbert Andres, lawyer for the victims of extrajudicial killings or EJKs, says that the victims are ready if and when they're called by prosecution to testify.
Happy, they're very thankful to God that this actually occurred, yung arrest ni Duterte. But secondly, we should also remember that there's a chance for re-traumatization. So that's why we also try to adhere to the do no harm policy. Hindi po namin sila pinipresenta in the public.
If the legal team of former President Duterte does request for an interim release in the near future, he says they will oppose it.
Based on substance, we will oppose it. And in fact, we're against it because we think that the security of the witnesses as well as the victims will be well protected if the accused or the suspect is within the custody of the ICC.
Some fresh news off the pan, and the ICC has already set a date for the initial appearance of the former president before the ICC pre-trial chamber, and that is today, March 14 at 2 p.m. It is currently 1 a.m. here, so we got several hours before that happening, and the people in the Philippines can tune into that via the website of the ICC. It will just be a little bit delayed by 30 minutes, but certainly those hearings will be open to the public.
Okay, Gretchen, to begin with, do we already know what happened yesterday why the former executive secretary could not apparently find the former president, and him ending up saying or claiming that it's all part of a grand plan to kidnap the president, I suppose, by the ICC.
Ed, ang tingin talaga natin sa nangyari ay nagulat itong si ES Salvador Medialdea dahil sa response na wala doon ang dating Pangulo sa loob ng detention facility. So ang sabi niya, sinakay sa ambulansya, binigay yung records, sinabing aalagaan naman si dating Pangulo. At yun nga, no, nung gabi ng 7 p.m., pumasok yung tatlong black cars but the ambulance was not there. So, nagtataka sila saan dinala. They were not made aware of the whereabouts of that ambulance until the ICC clarified it shortly after the statement of ES Medialdea. Ang sabi nga nila, ito routine or standard procedure to have those medical checkups for the president. He also received medical care. In which hospital we do not know yet, but that is what happened. And then the ICC said that the former president is already in the detention center.
Okay. And then where is he going? Where is he detained currently? Kasi you mentioned kanina the UN detention center. Is that different from the ICC detention center? Are we talking about different facilities altogether?
Pareho lang yun, Bok. Yung UN detention unit at yung ICC detention center, sa ating pagre-research, pareho lang, no? Kasi may mga kasunduan itong UN at yung ICC. So para silang host nung mga nililitis at yung nasa trial doon sa UN detention center. But at UN detention center is within the Chevening, nahihirapan ako mag-pronounce. That prison, which is part of the Hague Penitentiary Institution. Yung Hague Penitentiary Institution can house about 1,000 detainees. Pero hindi lang yun yung nasa Scheveningen, meron pa siyang isa pa sa isa pang lugar. So, the Scheveningen prison actually used to house the minor less dangerous criminals nung World War II, nung nagre-research din tayo, no? Parang Dutch yata yung mga kinukulong doon. So, very interesting. Actually, I wanted to look a little deeper into that, the history, because kahit doon sa side niya may museum, ano? So, mukhang historic din yung lugar na ito. At magugulat ka kasi pag pumunta ka doon, pinapalibutan siya ng mga kabahayan. Napakaganda ng mga bahay around the penitentiary that you would not think that it was actually a prison. So, yung weird man, no? It seems a little bit ironic, but very, very charming neighborhood surrounding the Scheveningen prison in The Hague.
Okay. Give us a bit of an idea what it's like right now there in the Netherlands. Of course, here in the Philippines, the temperature is warm, really, really warm. I noticed kasi kahapon or kagabi, medyo parang sobrang lamig ngayon dyan. So what's it like there now dyan sa Den Haag? And do we know if, for example, the prison facilities are comfortable and heated if it is too cold there?
Ang alam natin, no, talagang malamig na malamig dito sa the Netherlands. Yung kumpara sa Rome, malayo. I was reporting yesterday, it was 3 degrees Celsius. Tapos naninigas na yung aking mga kamay. Hindi na nga ako makapag-type sa aking cellphone. Ganon siya kalamig dito. Siguro kasi yung winter ay patapos na. Pero hindi pa siya tapos talaga. Kaya rin, kung mapapansin mo, yung assistance na binigay ng Philippine Embassy to the Netherlands kay Pangulong Duterte ay winter clothes. Winter clothes, change of clothes, at yung mga visas nga na sinasabi. Pero it's understandable, naiintindihan ko na ngayon kung bakit yun ang inuna nila. When it comes to yung temperatures inside, I would not have any idea kasi hindi kami pinapasok sa loob, ano. Pero ito, nakikita ninyo sa mga video, umuulan pa this morning and it was super windy and super cold. Yet, we also saw some Filipinos out there brave the cold in their thick jackets.
So, sabi ko nga, pag pumunta kayo dito, kailangan talagang magdala kayo ng mga tamang kasuotan.
Okay. Ngayon, let's talk about the president's or the former president's legal team. Kasi you mentioned a while ago that Mijilde is going to be one of the lawyers of the former president. Pero at the same time, I understand that the lawyers of the accused, actually any lawyer who wants to appear before the ICC, has to be accredited by the ICC to make an appearance. I'm wondering if the executive secretary is also one of those accredited to appear before the ICC. Like for example, yung dating tagapagsalta ni Duterte, si Harry Roque, is one of the Filipinos who we know to have been earlier accredited with the ICC. So technically, he can make an appearance there if he wants to. But I don't know about Secretary Medjaldea. So in other words, do we know already the composition of the legal team of the former president and where Medjaldea fits in?
Bok, wala pa tayong naririnig tungkol dyan sa composition ng legal team, ano? Kasi mukhang sa ngayon ay they're still figuring out the initial processes or what can be done. Ang napansin ko lang, Bok, dito sa legalities, ano, dinaan ni President Duterte yung kanyang mensahe through the consular office.
Okay.
Meaning, dumaan siya sa Philippine Embassy to be able to request a visit from his lawyer and a family member. So I'm assuming that is Vice President Sara Duterte and ES Medialdea. Silang dalawa yung sinusubukang mapapasok sa loob ng penitentiary. At yung message na yon ay hinatid through a call with a consular officer. At nandun yun sa rules, no? Nung ICC, pag binasa mo kung ano yung allowed. Ang allowed sa kanya ay visit ng diplomatic or consular office of the Philippines at ang allowed sa kanya yung spiritual advisor. Hindi pa klaro kung sino-sino pa yung mga miyembro dyan, pero kung papansin mo, mukhang na-frustrate itong si ES Medialdea kanina kasi hindi siya pinapasok. Kahit nag-email na sila ng umaga, pumunta sila doon, they were making calls, they were trying to get inside to pay a visit to the former president. Mukhang nandun pa lang, Bok. Sumusubok pa lang silang kausapin to get a hold of the president and ES Medialdea was able to do that via phone call. Naasahan din natin today that the vice president will try to get inside there. But as to the composition of the team, ang kwento sa atin ni Attorney Gilbert Andres, tama ka, they would need accreditation from the ICC, parang listed counsel ang tinatawag dyan. Tinanong natin ano kung pwede bang Pilipino, kung international law ni Attorney Gilbert Andres. Siyempre, meron kasi mga batas itong ICC na kailangan kabisado o kailangan inaral. Kaya tawag dito, pagiging listed to counsel is actually something you work for. And yun ang inaasahan dito nga sa legal team ni Pangulong Duterte. Dahil kung kumuha lang sila ng local lawyer, ay baka dumoble-doble pa yung proseso, baka hindi magkaintindihan. So they really have to get accredited with the ICC.
Okay. Going back to what you said earlier, the former president is scheduled to make an initial appearance before the pretrial chamber at 2 p.m., that's the time in Den Haag. That should be around 9 p.m. in the Philippines because we're 7 hours ahead. So mamayang gabi pa ito gagawin. At ito ipapalabas sa live streaming doon sa ICC website, just 30 minutes delayed. Now, I point that out kasi I'd like to go into what exactly is going to be happening later on in the day. What is this initial appearance of the former president before the pre-trial chamber? What do we expect from that, and what would follow after that?
There's two things, Bok, in that initial proceedings. Number one is that he will be made aware of the charges that are being laid in front of him, the charges that he is accused of, crimes that he is alleged of committing. That's number one, papaintindi mo na sa kanya. At number two, he will also be made aware of his rights under the Rome Statute. So, yung kinukwento nga natin, paulit-ulit natin pinag-uusapan, itong interim release
is part of his rights. It is his right to request for that. Bok, interesting, no? Kasi nagre-research din ako kung may precedents yung pag-grant ng interim release. Ang nakita ko sa aking research ay nag-grant ito doon sa mga parang malapit na ma-acquit. Yung medyo matagal-tagal na doon sa trial. Meron din iba pang instances, ano? So actually, I meant to study all of that, but and also the specifics of what they were granted. But this has already been given to past suspects of the ICC. Pero yung dalawa sa nakita ko doon ay medyo tumagal na sila doon sa proseso ng trial at nakita na hindi sila flight risk na mag-attend sila ng trial at di rin sila risk sa kanilang mga witnesses at victims, and they will not risk the continuation of a crime. So, hindi ko sigurado kung ano yung maaaring maging pwedeng depensa ng legal team ni Pangulong Duterte para makakuha sila ng interim release. Sa ngayon, yun yung isa sa mga nakikita natin na maaari nilang gawing remedy dito nga sa kaso ni former President Rodrigo Duterte.
Okay. Sige, Gretchen, just to add to that, he will be appearing, of course, before the pretrial chamber. Among the first things that they will be doing at the pretrial chamber appearance later on will be to verify the identity of the former president. I think that's the very first thing that they will have to do to make sure that he is who they suspect him to be, or he is who he's supposed to be. Just to put everything down there. And after that will be, I understand as well, verify whether the language to be used in the hearings will be language understandable to all parties, from the prosecution to the defense, and of course to the judges as well. And from there, that's when they proceed to the confirmation of the charges against him. Pero I think initially ang mangyayari lang muna is verification of identity and verification of the language, and possibly nga he'll be informed of the charges against him and his rights under the ICC Rome Statute. Now, the pretrial chamber is composed of 3 people. We already have their names, courtesy of the ICC. Si Judge Lulia Antonella Motok, the presiding judge. She is a Romanian from Eastern Europe. And then we have Judge Rene Adelaide Sophie Alapini Gansu. She is from Benin, from Africa. And Maria del Socorro Flores Liera from Mexico. So it's a 3-member panel of the pretrial chamber that will be looking into these matters. So you can see from the composition, it's not exactly what some people are trying to paint na he's being tried by ng mga puti or by a specific race. Now,
By women.
and by women as well. So, ikaw pa nakapansin eh. Okay. Well, going further into the pretrial stage, just for the benefit of our viewers there, the pretrial stage is according to ICC. The judges, the three pretrial judges will confirm the identity, ensure the understanding by the accused of the charges being leveled against him, and then it will begin to hear the prosecution, the defense, and the victims. Parang presentation yun of positions and sides. And then the judges will decide within 60 days or 2 months if there is enough evidence for them to go to trial. In other words, hindi pa ito yung trial mismo. This is only the pre-trial where they will determine if there is reasonable grounds to believe that he may be guilty. So wala pa tayo dun sa...
Oo, tama yun. Naisip ko lang kanina kasi nabanggit mo yung language na pipiliin ni Pangulong Duterte. Naisip ko lang, kung papayagan kaya siya na magmura. Diba? We always hear him, and then whether they will strike that from the records, just something to think about there. Kung Tagalog, English, o meron pang dagdag. Pero bukod doon,
kung matatranslate yun.
O kung matatranslate. Nakausap natin si Attorney Gilbert Andres tungkol doon sa mga biktima.
at kung handa na nga ba silang humarap kay Pangulong Duterte doon sa pre-trial phase. At sinasabi ni Attorney Andres, depende yan kasi sa pipiliin ng prosecutor. So usually daw, it's not everybody who gets chosen to appear before the court. Madalas, three top cases daw ang maaaring piliin ng prosecutor as the strongest ones, and then the victims will be the ones to go there. So ayaw niya pangunahan, pero sinasabi niya hindi lahat daw mapipili. Hindi katulad sa ginagawa sa Pilipinas na isa-isa hinaharap talaga. Doon daw pipili lang ng iilan. Pero sabi ni attorney ay medyo matagal-tagal pa yon. So I mean, he emphasizes that it's still very far off. This pre-trial phase will take months, and if ever it gets to the trial, it will take years. So a very, very long period, a long timeline right there.
Okay, Gretchen, just before we let you go, I'd like to read some portions that may be pertinent to everybody, including the people who are watching right now, our viewers. Of course, this is very important because here we're talking about the rights of the accused. Ito yung karapatan ng yung dating Pangulong Duterte as an accused. This is based on the Rome Statutes Article 67, the rights of the accused. Number one, the accused shall be entitled to a public hearing to be conducted impartially, to be informed of the nature, cause, and content of the charge, to have adequate time and facilities for the preparation of defense, and communicate freely with the counsel of the accused, and to be tried without undue delay, to be present at the trial, to have legal assistance assigned by the court in case the accused lacks sufficient means to examine or have examined the witnesses against him or her. He will also be entitled to raise defenses and to present other evidence admissible under this statute. He has the right not to be compelled to testify or to confess guilt and to remain silent, without such silence being a consideration in the determination of guilt or innocence. And the right to make an unsworn oral or written statement in his or her defense, and not to have imposed on him or her any reversal of the burden of proof or any onus of rebuttal. Again, the onus or the burden of everything will have to fall on the prosecution to prove beyond reasonable doubt at the trial stage whether or not the crimes, the charge of crimes against humanity for the crime of murder has been committed by the former president. So yun lang, just a quick rundown of the rights given or the rights of the accused under Article 67 of the Rome Statute. Anyway, Gretchen, anything else you'd like to add before we let you go?
I guess when it comes to being able to comment on the case, so naalala ko lang kasi yung dun sa detention center ni Pangulong Duterte, kung doon man siya nakabilit, yung computer kasi pwede rin gamitin para siya ay comment. Yung kanyang counsel ay pwedeng mag-upload ng mga documents dun sa computer. Yung computer na yun will be visible to the court, and that can be used also by the former president to be able to comment on the case. So yun yung parang correspondence nila doon using that piece of technology. Pero hindi natin pwedeng asahan na yan ay nakakonect sa internet. Pati yung pag-access sa balita, mukhang hindi rin makaka-access itong si former President Duterte mula sa kanyang piitan dito nga sa detention center, sa Scheveningen, sa Hague. So hindi niya mababalitaan yung mga nangyayari sa labas. But I guess for those who are wondering what happened to the president, finally we got confirmation from him not to worry because he is fine. He had a checkup and he is in the detention center, and he was able to speak to his legal counsel, E.S. Medialdea, and also to the consular office of the Philippine Embassy to The Hague. So all is well. Para sa mga nagtanong kung nasaan ang Pangulo, kalma lang tayo. Nandyan pa rin siya.
Okay, so the former president will have intranet, not internet, in his computer. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya makapag-Facebook.
Hindi.
Okay, maraming salamat for joining us this morning in your show. Morning Matters host Gretchen Ho reporting live from the Netherlands.